Okay, I think we're live now. I've just checked to see that. Hello. If anyone can see us, just say hi, and then we can start so we know someone is there. Welcome to Mrs. O's chat room. Is anyone there? Okay, I can see about 4 people. So can you guys hear us? Can you see us? Can someone just say yes in the chat box so we know that people are here with us? Okay, I think I can see a comment. Okay, yes, they can see us. Okay, so welcome everyone to this session, and I'll just dive straight up. I don't want to waste Kim's time. So Kim, you can tell us who you are and who you represent. So, why you're here today.
No problem. Thanks, Mrs. O. So my name is Kim. I'm from Prodigy Finance. I represent them as a customer service specialist agent. So assisting any customer queries and just being a part of an amazing company.
Okay, so tell us about Prodigy Finance and what you guys do.
Sure, no problem. So Prodigy Finance started in about 2007 with 3 international MBA students who had experienced the first-hand hardships of trying to fund their studies, wanting to go abroad and study. So they made it their mission to make quality education accessible by using a fintech to redefine the student loan market. So what Prodigy Finance offers is that we are an international lender, and we provide loans to students who are going to top schools around the world to study their masters in business, STEM, law, policy, or even health sectors. So we have provided over $1 billion in funding to over 20,000 students across the globe.
Wow, that's huge. That's huge. So I'm sure people are dying to know the eligibilities. I know those things are on your website, but it feels good to hear that someone else, to hear someone from the team actually talk about it. So like, what are the eligibilities, the requirements to access student loans? And, can this loan be accessed by students in any part of the world? Or are there some countries or nationalities that are exempted and all of that?
Okay, perfect. That's a very good question. So with Prodigy Finance, we do have eligibility criteria, and there are 3 main criteria that we really look at when you're applying for a loan application. So the first one would be you need to be looking to study your master's abroad, so studying it internationally. The second one would be that you need to attend a school that we support, right? Okay. So we do support over 800 schools globally. You can find out which school we support by visiting our website and using the Search My School tool on the website, right? So it's simply on our page. You just go to the Prodigy website, you scroll further down, it will have the words how it works. You'll click on there and it'll take you directly to the page to search for your school.
So like, what countries are those schools? Like, are there a list of countries? Because I hear a lot of people say, oh, your school, the schools you guys support are just in the UK. So are there schools in like Canada, in Australia, all over the world that you support?
So we do have a large list of schools. We do support schools within the USA, within the UK, and some within Europe, some within Canada as well. Unfortunately, at this time, we don't support any schools within Australia as yet. Hopefully within the future, because of regulatory frameworks, we are not able to. So we do support certain schools, and you're more than welcome to see the list on our website, just giving you a breakdown of what schools we support and what faculties are covered by those schools as well.
Oh, beautiful. So in those schools, are there particular programs? I know you said master's programs. So are there particular faculties or departments or just whatever course, so long as it's master's and it's in the school?
Yes, so we only support masters for abroad, right? So we unfortunately don't do PhD or any doctorate thereof, or any diplomas or bachelors.
Or undergraduate.
Yes, that's correct. So if students search for a particular school and the course is supported, then we can offer a particular loan within that school to that particular student. However, there are certain schools that we might not support a course only. So we support the school, but a certain course we might not support, as it doesn't fall under business, STEM, law, or health or policy. So what we encourage is students to reach out to us and say, listen, my school is not listed on the list. Can you please check if we can add the school to the list? Our team will then do the necessary to check if the school fits the criteria. However, it does take some time to add a school to our existing list of schools because there's certain processes that we need to communicate with the school and finalize everything as in that way. So it does take a long time, but we do ask students to let us know so that hopefully in the future we maybe can put those particular schools on our list.
Wow, that's good to know. So if you're here watching this session, just know that if you have admission, masters in any of the school, it's good to reach out to Prodigy Finance first before you rule out the fact that, they would not, you'll not be able to access a student loan from them. So, okay, so I'll go to the next question. Places like Canada, for example, that we know it's very tough to get your study visas. So how does getting a loan from your organization impact on the prospective, international students' visa approval? Yeah, especially for Canada, US, sometimes you need to prove that you have the funds to go for this program.
Yes, that's a very good question. So once you've done an application and you've done the necessary and your loan gets approved with Prodigy Finance, you will receive a loan confirmation letter confirming the university name, confirming the loan amount that you'll be receiving from us. So because we also work closely with your university, we also understand the tuition amount that is needed for your studies. And that will be listed on this loan confirmation letter, which can be used when you go for your visa interview to prove your study funds. Yeah.
So it's okay for people to take student loan to, study. There's no problem at all when it comes to them getting their visas and all of that. I just wanted to state that point. So that's good.
No problem.
So tell us a bit about, the loan terms, the conditions, and, the payment plans. I'm sure people are eager to know what is involved before they jump into it.
So a question we get, or a few questions we get a lot before students even start the applications are, what will my interest rate be? What are the repayment terms? However, the best answer is for everybody to go ahead and apply. So if you fit the criteria, there is one part of the criteria that I would like to mention. Firstly, would be that the last part is to make sure that we support your market. So this being that we only are able to support a list of markets. There are a few markets that we cannot support due to certain frameworks. So you can visit our website to see if we can support your market to be eligible for a loan from Prodigy Finance. And going back to your question regarding the loan terms, it's best to do an application. So once you do an application, and it would be easier for us to determine what is the best interest rate or the best term suited for you. So each application is based on an individual assessment. It doesn't compare you to another student or another student. So we look at everything you have added on that application.
Okay, so I get what you're saying. So it's per, application, per student applying. There's no general rules to it. So you deal with the application as the student comes. Oh, so there's something else. I know this is not part of what I said I was going to ask you, but a lot of people say that you should have good credit card scores, use credit cards. So we know that some countries, like countries in Africa, for example, most of them don't have credit cards and all of that. So for people like that, how do you support people like that?
So yes, we do. With regards to credit report or credit score. So if you have taken out credit before, you of course will be on a credit bureau agency. Your details will be listed. If you haven't taken credit either, you still go ahead and apply. It doesn't mean because you have credit, we're going to accept you only, or because you don't have credit, we're going to accept you. So we do encourage students to go ahead and still apply. And if there is anything on the credit report that maybe seems a bit confusing on our side when looking at it, we are going to reach out to you and say, listen, don't you mind talking through this section of your credit report, just explaining what's happening or what's going on, if there is anything alarming. However, we try our best to support the student and also understand their financial background. So that's why we reach out to them and make sure that we can find out the problems or whatever might be happening before proceeding with an application's credit bureau report.
Oh, that sounds interesting. For people who are just joining us, this is Prodigy Finance, a student loan company, and they are saying they only fund students who are coming for their master's program. So I can see some questions. Some people are saying we have PhD and all of that and diploma. So they only fund master's students. So is there any plan to start, to expand, to fund also undergraduate diploma and all of that? Do you guys have any of those in perspective?
Well, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you, Mrs. O, but I'm sure that Prodigy Finance is looking at all aspects to expand and ways we can make that funding is not a barrier to education. So I know that Prodigy looks at many ways of continuously adding new schools, and hopefully within the future we can look at assisting students, because I know the pandemic has dampened a lot of schools and put everything back. A lot of student studies this year and last year. So we're doing our best as well to expand and grow and add new schools. And hopefully one day we can also expand within PhD or other forms of education as well.
Oh, okay. Someone is saying, what is the interest on the loan?
So that's it. Can I answer that question? It's okay.
Or does it fluctuate?
Okay. So it is based on your application, right? So we have a fixed margin rate and a base rate. So the base rate is dependent on the country that you go and study at. So if you're going to the UK, it will be a UK based rate or LIBOR rate. If you're going to the US, it will be a US LIBOR rate as well, right? So it will be a fixed margin rate plus one of the base rates, and that will be your overall interest rate. But the interest rate is unique to you. Your friend and yourself will never have the same interest rate, because when you do an application, it is based on about various factors on your application.
So can you just list some of them, some of the factors you consider?
So it's quite hard to say what factors, about 150 variable factors on an application that we look at. So once you do an application, our risk team will then assess your application individually. So we do ask, when students fill in an application, please fill in the accurate and honest information as possible. This will help our team determine the best interest rate for you, the best term for you as well, and the best loan amount. We, as a responsible lender, wouldn't want to put you in a situation where you have an exorbitant interest rate, exorbitant term that is not realistic for your application.
Okay, so a very important question someone asked. So do you just cover tuition fees, or you also give the student their living expenses?
That's actually a great question. So we do actually cover tuition cost and living expenses. However, it is only applicable to certain schools. So some schools do give us leeway to cover both, and there are some schools that are restricted for that, where we are only able to cover tuition. So it is dependent on the school and the program that you are going for, whether we can cover both.
Okay, so do you have any advice on how this prospective, international students can further increase their chances of securing student loan from your organization? How can they start this journey? So somebody is on here listening to you and they're interested to start already, like what advice do you have for them? How should they get started?
Perfect. So the easy way to get started is checking your eligibility. So go ahead and visit our website, do some research, go into our FAQ page and look at the necessary loan process steps and what is required from your side as well, right? So create an account, submit your application to check if you are eligible. The second step will be start your application as early as you can. So if your class is available on our website, please go ahead and start your application. It just makes the whole process much smoother when you do that as well, okay? Third thing would be to ensure that your application contains accurate and honest information in order for us to give you the most accurate offer. And also gathering and uploading your supporting documents as early as possible. It just can help the process move through smoother. The fourth one is we also have a number of resources on our newly launched study center on our website. Okay. So if you are feeling stuck at any point in your loan process, go to our study center and check out the necessary advice or information. We also have ambassadors that are online. So you can actually chat to different ambassadors on our website and ask them about their experience with Prodigy Finance and find out as to how they went about their loan process with us as well. Last advice I would really give to all the students and everybody listening is if you have any questions or any doubts or concerns, please do reach out to Prodigy Finance. So we have an amazing team that is ready to take your call, ready to take your online chat, or even respond to your email. Please let us know how we can assist you in this process, because we do understand it's a big commitment that you are making for your life and your journey. So we want to support you in all ways possible.
Okay, so if you guys have any question, you can drop them in the question, in the comment section, and Kim is going to answer your question before she leaves. I mean, we have at least 10 minutes to go, so 10 to 15 minutes. So if you have any question,
I see there's a...
Do you have any question you want me to point out, Kim?
No, go ahead. Read any question and I'm happy to answer.
Because I see this one that says, I have a loan offer from Prodigy Finance, but I'm asked to upload my proof of funds. What if I do not have readily available funds? Can the loan offer be reviewed?
So depending on your application, if you need to show proof of savings, that means proof of funds, unfortunately you won't be able to move forward with the application unless a task is completed on your application. So the reason being is that we will need to make sure that the full cost of attendance or tuition is covered for you before we proceed with your application. So that this also coincides with us communicating with your school, making sure that when we send the funds to the school, knowing that you have the necessary portion to cover it and Prodigy will be covering the rest. So it's really important to upload those proof of savings. If you can't get it right now, just let us know. Let us know how much time it's going to take, and we'll communicate with you and keep in touch with you on that.
Okay, from this question, what I understand is that you guys are covering part of his tuition and then he's covering the rest, right? So you need him to show proof that he can provide the rest. Okay, so that means you guys also cover parts tuitions and, okay, that's good to know.
That is correct. So for some universities, we do cover up to 80% cost of attendance or cost of tuition. And for some universities, we can cover up to 100%. So it is dependent on the university that you go to as well.
So I think the first thing to do if you don't have enough funds is to first look at the schools, and then the school to apply to. So look at the schools that have a full 100% coverage, depending on how much you have. And then it gives you an idea of which school to apply to. And I was going to ask one other question, like how long does it take to process this, from when for example, I'm a student and I have my admission ready and I'm supposed to resume maybe fall and say it's already June, July, and I have to resume fall. So how long does it take? Because, I have to apply for my study visa. So how long does it take to get the study loan approval? I mean, I need my admission to start the process of getting a loan, right? So once I get the admission, how long does it take to get the loan approval so I can proceed with my visa application?
Sure. So firstly, if you don't have your admission assessed and you do your application, that's fine. But once you can apply without having your admission letter.
Okay.
If you know that you want to go ahead and study abroad, by all means go ahead and apply. It's just also giving you a better understanding of your financial circumstances for studying abroad. But as soon as you get your admission letter and you've accepted your offer with Prodigy, we will request for you to upload that admission letter along with other documents as well. So once you've uploaded all your documents, the review process can take about 2 to 3 weeks to review your documents. If your documents are spot on and perfect from the first time you've uploaded them and there's nothing that we still need to double check or make sure that fits our criteria as well, then your application can be reviewed much quicker. However, once it's been reviewed, you'll be put onto a waitlist stage. And this waitlist stage you'll be on for about a week or two before you get matched to available funding. So the process to get your loan approved can take about a month or slightly longer, depending on the verification stage. This is the stage that normally takes some time if the documents are incorrect and not fitting the criteria that we need.
Okay, good to know. I will just go through and see. Okay, someone says, is there an application fee to apply for this?
That's a very good question. So we do have an administration fee. It's about 5% of the loan amount that you take out with us. However, students are always concerned that they would need to pay this 5% upfront. But with Prodigy Finance, we calculate it within your loan amount and you pay it over the life of your loan. So we don't expect any payments upfront for an application fee or the administration fee.
Okay, good to know. Someone says most UK schools aren't on the list. Like you said, okay.
It's tough to have all the schools because there's a strict criteria that we need to follow, and it is also dependent on the school as well. So if there's a school that you want us to maybe look at, please do pop us an email and ask us to check if we can support the school. Maybe we support them now and we didn't back then. So please do let us know.
Okay, so if you have any school that you feel is not on the list, please contact them and they are going to review to know if they can even add the school or if they've recently added the school or if it's something, they can support. I see a lot of people asking, is this university there? Is this other university there? So I'm not going to shoot out those questions because you just have to go to their website and check.
Yeah.
And if you don't see the schools there, please send them an email, contact them to ask, if it's possible that they sponsor those schools.
Sure.
Okay.
I see someone asking what's our email address.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so if you got a pen and paper, I'll give it to you. It's info, so INFO at prodigyfinance.com. You can just send us an email or you can visit our website, which is prodigyfinance.com, and contact us via our chat function on our website as well. And the email address is there as well.
I posted it. I just hope they can see it.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Okay, so this is the email address, guys. If you're here, just write this down. I'm also going to leave it in the description box when I, upload this video. So this video is going to be on my channel. So anybody that has any, question can come back and watch and know what to do from here. Okay, so this one.
Okay, so
he says any collateral. So do you guys, need any collateral, or how do you secure your investment for repayment? I think that's a good question. Yeah.
Okay, so that is a very good question. So firstly, with Prodigy Finance, we do not require collateral or cosigner. So I know a lot of students ask this question, and it's really important to a lot of students. They don't want to put the burden on their family members when they go study abroad. Also, with regards to repayment process, so the repayment terms are 7, 10, and 15 years. Also, we don't expect students to make any payments during their time of their study. Unless they are able to, if they maybe secured a part-time job and feel they want to make payments, there's also no penalties to students that want to do that option. So there's a lot of flexibility. Also, we do give students a grace period once they've completed their studies. So for part-time students, about 3 months grace period from the time the funds are disbursed. And for full-time students, we give them 6-month grace period just to gather their financials and also to settle down after they've completed 2 years of a master's degree. So just catching their breath and getting back on their feet. So we do give them a grace period. But also check out our FAQs. There's more detail on our repayment process as well.
Oh, beautiful. So I think you answered this question when we started. It's credit reports required before approval. And I think you said no.
So not all the time. So there are some circumstances where it will be asked beforehand. So if you have done an application with us and it requested to upload a credit report or certain documents, I do advise to please send it through to us as soon as possible so that we can have a look at your application and our team can do the necessary assessments on your application.
Okay, so someone is saying, can undergraduate enjoy the plan? So she said already that this loan, it's only for master's students. Maybe in future, but for now, it's just for master's students. So Someone says, what is the repay? I think you mentioned this. I don't know why people keep repeating the question. So she already said it has different plan, right? You said 7, 5, and 15, if I'm right.
It's 7, 10, and 15 years.
Yeah, okay, 7, 10, and 15. So those are the repayment plans they have available. Okay, I don't think we have any more questions. I'll just go up a bit and see. So someone says, how do we know the schools with the 100% coverage? So when you go on your website, is it stated there, like the school has this percentage of coverage? Okay, it's stated there on the website. Okay, so guys, it's stated on their website.
If you're not also sure, if it's not confirmed, just give us a call. Let us know what your questions are before you start up. If you just want to make sure what the cost of attendance is that we cover, you're more than welcome to let us know. But I also do advise our applications are free. So if you have 2 or more schools that you are thinking of going to, apply for all 3 to see what you get offered. Once you've accepted your offer, the other applications will get cancelled or withdrawn. So you can also have multiple applications if you are still shopping around or making a decision which school is best for you.
Okay, I think one other question that I would want to, okay, somebody said, so you said you only support master's student, and we know master's student is a graduate. So what of postgraduate, students, postgraduate diploma? They are not masters, but they are PGD. Do you also cover them?
Unfortunately not.
Okay, so just people doing masters, nothing less. Okay. So someone is saying, I think that's a good question. If the visa is not granted, will the loan be retracted?
So that's actually a very good question. I actually had customers this week that I personally spoke to that said, oh no, they didn't go further with the application because their visas got denied. That's not a problem. So nothing is binding with Prodigy Finance until you have signed the loan agreement. So even if your loan is approved, you go for your visa, or you're still in verification stage where you're uploading documents and your visa gets denied, just let us know. There's no fee that you would need to pay. We can cancel your application immediately. Or alternatively, you can let us know to keep it open because you're trying to get your visa sorted. So there's no saying that if your visa is denied, we are going to pull the loan back. Unfortunately we can't do that. If you've signed the loan agreement and after you've signed the loan agreement and then you get your visa denied, which really happens, students normally get their visa first before they sign anything with us. So that would be the best way to go. Before signing your loan agreement, first sort your visa out and then sign.
Okay, so it's best to get your visa. I mean, they're going to give you a letter to, help with your visa processing. So get your visa first before you go ahead to sign the documents.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, I don't know why I'm putting this question, but it might be an important question. Someone is saying, with student loan, can they travel with family? So now the student loan, does it just cover the applicants, or can you extend it to cover any dependents that is going with the applicants?
So that's a good question. It's not for all schools though. So it is dependent on the school and the agreement that we have with that particular university for a travel option of a dependent plus 1 dependent or 2 dependents. Oh. So it's not for many of the schools that we have. So it's really for a small selective amount of schools that we have on our list.
Okay. Okay, I think we've covered most of the question. This one says, what is the... Okay, I think I missed. What is the approval rate so far based on your years of experience? Do you mean approval rates with visas or with the loan? I'm not sure what the question is. So this one says, with a student loan, will this not jeopardize your visa approval?
No. So based on my understanding is that when you are applying for your visa, you of course need to show how you're covering the necessary funds to go and study at the school. And if it is a loan and it's proved, what I've experienced from Prodigy is that none of our students have come back and said they've been denied because they've taken a loan with Prodigy Finance. So our loan confirmation letters actually helped a lot of students proceed with their visa. So we do encourage students to use it if it's necessary for their loan, for their visa application.
Yeah, because why I got to know about you guys when I spoke to some students studying here in Canada, and they said they used, this loan. I'm like, how did you use a loan to apply for your visa? They're like, oh yeah, they used the letter from the loan, and then they got their visas approved. So I became very interested in, reaching out to you guys, especially because I know a lot of people from Africa and from, other continents are having this problem of having sufficient funds for their studies. So a lot of people want to get scholarship, but we know that the scholarship cannot go around, and very few people can afford it by themselves. So this is just providing people with another option. So if you qualify, I mean, it's good to get a quality education, So if you qualify, by all means, go for this. I've spoken to people who used, loan companies, and they got their visas approved, even to Canada, not just, US and the UK. So yeah, that's it. And okay, so this is another important question. So this person said, so if the loan agreement is not signed, what documents will we show the consular at the embassy as our proof of fund?
So that's actually a very good question. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. So when you sign your loan agreement with us, we liaise with your school. So everything gets done directly from us to your school. So we don't, from what I know is we assist with the letter for your visa interview that can assist with that. But further as documents to show that the consulate at the embassy proof of funds, the letter is your proof of funds because that loan has been approved, that loan has been secured, even though the document has not been signed as yet. However, we will inform the school, for example, if you don't go ahead with our funding and you don't sign, we will have to inform the school that the student is no longer taking the funding from Prodigy. They will need to fund it on their own. So then the school will, of course, then find out by you directly how you're going to be proceeding with your funding for your tuition.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. So I hope you guys understand what she just said. So you don't have to sign, but I mean, they are going to give you the letter. So once you go with the letter, it shows that your loan has been approved, even without you signing. It's a letter that shows your loan is being approved. And the visa officer might consider that while making a decision on your visa. And I'm sure the visa officer understands the implication of, signing when you do not have your visa as well. I mean, they are human beings like us, right? So
yeah,
that's I'm sure those people who succeeded at doing it, they went with the letter like that and then it got approved. So
yeah, we've actually never had any cases come back where students' visas was declined because they had a loan with Prodigy Finance or presented that particular letter. So do use it for your visa interview. Hopefully it helps the process as well.
So so if I'm not showing your question, that's because Kim has answered your question. Like somebody saying, what advice do you have for people whose schools of choice is not in your list? She's answered that before. So I'm going to upload this video so you can take your time and watch it again and get the answer. So so how do you pay the loan? Is it paid directly to the school or is it passed through the student?
That's an excellent question. So because we have a good relationship with the university, we send the funds directly to the school. So I know someone asked a question regarding living expenses or living funds. Is that also included? So if we are covering both tuition and living expenses, we send the funds, the whole amount to your university, right? Because just remember, before we send the funds, we also reach out to your school to let them know the funds are coming from us and confirming that the amounts are correct. So once the school has done that, we do the necessary on our side. But we send all the funds to the school. Once the funds are received by the university within 5 to 10 business days, they will let you know it's been allocated to your student account at the university, and they will also make the necessary arrangements to get your living expenses funds sent to you, because you need to be on campus and have a USAK account or UK bank account or the necessary forms when you get to that particular country.
Yeah.
So the school will make the arrangements to send your living expenses directly to you.
Okay, so I don't know if you can also, answer this question. Would securing a loan with Prodigy Finance in any way affects the postgraduate work permits, after study. So a lot of those students come in and then they study and then they get their postgraduate work permit. So she wants to know if the loan is going to affect. I don't think it should.
I don't think so either. I'm not able to confirm how will it affect your visa. Unfortunately not. I only work on the side of the loan aspect and understand, but I'm not too sure. What I would do advise, just check with your visa officers or advisors and just find out by them. I'm not too sure if Mrs. O, if you can maybe give more guidance as to how this might affect.
So from my experience with postgraduate work permits, especially Canada postgraduate work permits, it shouldn't affect you, because when you go on IRCC website, you're going to see the exemptions that are made there. Why you wouldn't get your a postgraduate work permit. So it doesn't say when you get a loan from a loan company. A lot of people are here studying. Most people from Asia, they're actually studying here with student loan from their countries, and they stay back. So it doesn't affect your stay back. So there are some things you would do that would affect your postgraduate work permit, and that does not include getting a loan from a loan or from a student loan company. So no, it doesn't affect you. So the questions keep coming, but I mean, we would have to wrap up this session. How can students repay loans if the plan is to? Oh well, so it's entirely up to you how you want to repay the loan, right? It doesn't matter if you stay back in your country or if you return back, right? I think. I mean, Kim, you want to throw more light?
Sure, but you're absolutely correct. It doesn't matter whether you stay in your country or you decide to come back, or stay in the country of the university or come back home. It's just be mindful that when you take out a loan with Prodigy Finance, you will need to pay back in the currency of that loan. So if the currency is in US dollars, which most of our loans are actually only in US dollars, so all our loans are predominantly in US dollars. So if you're going to a school in the USA, you would need to pay back within US dollars. So there are different platforms and ways of making payments to us via our mobile app as well, and different third parties as well. But you would need to make sure from wherever you are to pay your loan back in the same currency.
Okay, so that will be the last question for today. And I think every other question, somebody asking about credit score, Kim has answered that question, and every other question has been answered. So if you joined at the end of this session, you can just, watch the video again and get all the information you need. Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you so much for coming on this session to enlighten everyone here. I'm sure you guys picked a thing or two. If you watch this video again, definitely you pick a thing or two from this session that would help you. So I'll be ending this broadcast. So share this video, talk to everyone you know about this. Okay, sorry, Kim. Just this last question.
Sure.
This is like the third time he's asking this question. What? That's. I mean, yeah. This is a good question. Some schools will request for a deposit before they issue you a letter that you can use for your visa application. So in that case, how would the student access the loan for that purpose?
So with regards to deposits, so most deposits are required before students finalize their registration at school. So unfortunately, we are not able to cover the deposit. As the loan process does take some time to finalize everything, we do ask the students, of course, pay the deposit. However, on the application, it will also have a question: have you paid your deposit to your university? Yes or no. This also just gives us a better understanding of your affordability based on what you need to still cover with the university, if there are any portions that you need to cover on your own. So for example, if I may, if we cover 80%, you of course need to cover 20% to make up your full 100% cost of tuition, right? So if that deposit is part of your 20%, you select yes, and then you just prove it within your savings. You upload the documents stating you've covered your deposit, just to show that that's actually portion that you've already covered with the university. That goes for any funds that you've already paid, because we do understand some students saved up so much money already and they've made payments to the school. Just let us know if there are any payments that you've already made to the school.
Okay, thank you so much. I think that will be it. I'm not looking at any other question. So guys, bye. I'll be ending the broadcast right now.